Okay, so I want to talk about social circle cold calling, and I want to explain what that means and why dating in a small town is really, really different than dating in a city like New York, and how to approach a small market. So, who is this for? So, this is for campaigns and clients that have a very large customer lifetime value, typically in the millions, and a very small total addressable market. And they require a different approach to scale and offload a cold call campaign. So, why do these people hire us? Why can't they do it themselves? The biggest mistake that I see in these companies is they have very socratic and qualification based scripts. So they require too much domain specific knowledge, and they want you to build a system that, like, you want to build a system when you do this that doesn't require pulling creative talent or really skilled people in your organization and then making them prospect or making them cold call. And this is a Peter principle problem. So the Peter principle problem is people get promoted until they reach a level of incompetence where you can't promote them anymore. So this creates inefficiencies with an organization. Let's say you have somebody who has 5 years of experience in your company and they do cold calling. You'd probably rather they do something else with their time. There's probably more important things for them to do that are more valuable to you. You pay them a lot. Or they end up promoting themselves. So a lot of times, like, a lot of companies hire us because, like, we had a great SDR, we paid him, $8K a month, he left, and we can't hire another one because they end up leaving for a more lucrative job. So when a script is really requires Socratic questioning, qualification, deep market knowledge, where you're asking a lot of questions, you're probing for pain, it's always going to be harder to scale or offload that system. So I'm going to teach you what you can do instead that's much cheaper and going to actually be more effective. So you write a permission-based script followed by strong social circle credibility. Credibility means a lot when it's a social circle. Being on the football team means a lot in a small college. And then you leave it all on the field with your offer, and you don't push. So just like a cold email, you have a really simple offer that's really good. Leave it all in the field means you're willing to walk away. You're like, this is best and final. This is the big guns. And the other thing that you want to do is you want to read every word of the script and write out all the rebuttals, because these are your soft systems. This is your hyper local brand. So you're not a celebrity, but in a college with 300 people, you're basically a celebrity, right? Everybody knows everybody. And they have to be on brand, and the soft systems that you don't allow the callers to deviate. Write extra if you have to. If something they don't know, you're like, hey, just check with me and call the prospect back. Don't ad lib. It's very important you tell the callers that. The other thing that you want to do is you want to do Xanatos qualification. So Xanatos is a character in an old TV show, Gargoyles, where no matter what happened, he would find a way to win. So when he lost, he still won. So you want to create different ways to win in your script that don't rely on probing for a lot of pain. A lot of times they won't tell you the pain in a cold call. There's a different approach. Let me give you an example. So let's say you make your offer and it sounds really good and your credibility. You could just say, typically with clients, if they're ready to explore a working relationship, we invest 30 plus hours to research the space. We build a proposal with concepts mapped out. There's no commitment on your end. We just share it with you. If we're not at that stage yet, we like to bring you into our network and just meet you and see if we can make introductions that would be helpful to your company with no strings attached. So we want to meet you, we want to bring you to our network. If we're not at the intro stage, we can send more industry news and information and highlight potential opportunities periodically. You can reach out when you're ready, which would be the best for you. So either get on their mailing list, you do a meeting with them, and you start looking for potential relationships and win-wins, or you're working together provisionally, and then if they like it, they hire you, and that's really nice. And it's really easy to move them once they're in the network at some point, because then they know who you are. So the dating analogy is, you're in a college, you ask her out. If she's like, hey, I have a boyfriend, but you still like her, and you're like, well, I have 4 years, maybe, so who knows what will happen. Then you invite her and her friends out with your friends, And then if she's not, she's like, I'm not ready to go bowling with you. It's not, I don't know if Jacob would like it, right? Then it's put her on a mail list to go to social events with other students, group text her, whatever. And then if it's closable, you'll get it. It just may take a couple of years. For our clients, for our clinical trial clients, 2 years of relationship building before we got $1. So this is very normal. There's no pressure on the prospect. They can engage with you at their level of interest. They can buy when they're ready. When you have high price points, small TAMs, a lot of times you need that 1 to 2 years. That's what the big numbers sound sexy, but it also means long sales cycles, a ton of credibility, familiarity, and relevance to the prospect that must be built up. You want the big money, you have a small market, this is the stuff you got to do. Hope this was helpful and have a great day. I will talk to you guys tomorrow.